All right, so for the sub, what I like to do personally is just find a really good 808 sample and then work from there because I don't want to have to do a ton of processing to my 808. So this 808 is really sick. So we're not really going to have to do a ton of work. It sounds great. But what we can do is go through like, the list of things that you might want to do and see if any of them help or hurt. So for a sub, what I'll do is I'll put a Pro Q on, and maybe I'll do one of these low cuts like I did to the kick. So I'm cutting the extreme lows, but it's also giving like a resonant in the lows almost, but like a good one. It makes the kick or the 808 like a little bit more present. So another thing I might do is sort of dip out the mids a little bit so it gives room for the synths to sit, and then in turn I'll just boost around it. So this 808 sounds a little bit more subby and not as buzzy, so that's good. So maybe what I want to do is I might want to like saturate a little. And what's great is like this saturator, you just don't need to do all of these extra bands. Like you can do so much with this saturator, and you can like do modulation sources and like have LFOs controlling different things. And it's great for stuff like that, but it's also great for just turning it on and then letting its like algorithm just like drive it. Like you get different timbres across the board. You can also add just this high end to it. That doesn't affect the lows, but it also gives like a nice buzzy, like airy high end to it. Makes it sound a little bit more like crisper. And so let's group these. I like it. Sounds good. So that's pretty much all I would need to do. Like I obviously wouldn't need to use reverb. Wouldn't need to use a multiband compressor because this already sounds great. Don't need a limiter because there aren't really any transients or dynamic range in this. This is just one long 808. Don't need a gate because we have the 808 sort of starting and stopping when we want it, and it's just like one long note. It doesn't like go in waves. Wouldn't need a compressor because there aren't any transients again. Don't need a de-esser. So it's like EQ and saturator is pretty much all I need for the 808. So pretty simple but effective, and that's what we want. We don't want anything that's so complex that we like need to do it right a certain way. So I think this really sounds great. Totally changed the timbre of the 808, but it still sounds just as full and warm, and that's what we were aiming for. All right, so the next thing we're going to get into is doing sidechain with Pro C.